Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Extra Attacker podcast. We are here, episode 5 on November 4th, 2024. And it's not a Saturday, Jeff. What's going on?
It's not a Saturday. You were dying of the AIDS,
Yes.
but you survived.
Of all of the diseases and illnesses and plagues known to man that made me incapable of doing anything. But I am
That
better.
was the one.
Yeah.
That was the one. He did not die. He is with us. Thank goodness.
Oh, I did die, but I came back.
You did die. Yeah, it was a rough one for you, a rough couple days, but you're feeling better, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Much better. Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Kind of good.
many of the days.
Every of the sick.
Every of the sick, yes.
Before we get started today, I have to eat a little bit of humble pie here.
Please do.
The Sharks won a game.
Yes.
We all knew this was going to happen eventually.
It did. It took a while. It took double-digit games, but they did do it.
But they did do it. And who did they win against?
Well, I would say it, but it seems like you're wearing it.
Yeah. So I would say this is the perfect definition. Plug your kids' ears of talk shit, get hit. We knew the Sharks were going to win eventually, but me having to make fun of them, they ended up having to beat Utah. Not only did they beat Utah, they scored 3 goals to tie the game within the last 2 minutes of the game, and then beat us in overtime.
That was wild. That was a wild turn of events.
Yeah. So not only did Utah lose, and it's Utah's hat that I have to take off, but the other half of this was that I promised that when they finally won a game, we'd wear the San Jose hat.
Oh, you would.
And
I'm not wearing that.
I can't hear a word you're saying right now. I'm just disappointed that I have to take off the Utah hat for this, that it was Utah they beat. So Sharks fans, celebrate. You'll never see this again.
Well, I'm amazed you have that hat.
You didn't think I actually had one, did you?
No, I believed you did.
Okay.
You have a lot of hats.
It's true.
But yeah,
I do have every of the hats.
Every of the hats. But yeah, that was that's our first big thing of the last week, is that the Sharks finally won a game. We wondered what would happen before they did, and unfortunately none of our predictions came true. None of them did, but
No. I really thought, out of all the predictions, I thought Mark Stone playing in February was going to be the one, but
I mean, there's still time for that to happen.
Yeah, but he does. Rumor has it he's got a little bit of a sore throat.
His team's doing too good, and he's almost the leading in points in the league. So he can't go on LTIR yet. He's got some things that he's competing for. He's got to cool down a little bit first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, wow, what a way to win. And that wasn't the only one they've had in the last week, Jeff.
No.
As we go into this week in hockey, well, starting with the Sharks, they've won not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row.
They heard that I predicted them for under 20.5 wins, and they said, "Oh yeah, watch this. Not only are we going to start by beating Utah, but we're going to knock 3 in a row."
Yeah.
And they get Celebrini back starting tomorrow. And that's going to be a huge boost for them.
Sure. I think it'll be less of a big deal than the fact that they won 3 games in a row after losing the first 9. 100%. I believe it was 9 games. Yeah, because they beat
9 games. Yep.
Yeah.
100. The first time in history a team has gone 2 seasons in a row losing their first 8 games.
Yeah, but then they beat Utah, they beat the Kings, and then they beat Chicago. And then went back to their losing ways against Vancouver. Now they play Columbus tomorrow.
Yep.
So anything goes in that one.
Yep. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
With San Jose turning it on, though, we do have a team that's turned it off.
Well, can you? I don't know if you could say turned it off.
They turned it off for one night. They decided they just wanted to take a nap.
Yeah, literally, as they have their one and only loss against Toronto, of all teams.
Of all teams. It was a rough week for me.
Yeah.
It was a rough week. Winnipeg loses to Toronto. Could it have been anybody else? Please.
Well, it wasn't Calgary, like we were hoping. And then we're like, if they don't beat Calgary, then they're going to win every game. And that was nearly true because they beat Tampa Bay 7-4, Columbus 6-2, Detroit 6-2. But then they lose to Toronto.
Yeah. Hockey's a weird sport, man. Anything can happen any given night. And that's so one of the things that we love about it.
Yeah.
But they're still far and away ahead in the division, so there's nothing to worry about.
In the league, there's no one. Yeah, there's no one close to them. The closest is Florida. But Florida's also played one extra game, so
yeah. Also, Florida doesn't exist. What? Who said that?
Who said that? Yeah, the top two teams in the Atlantic Division don't exist. Wow, crazy. But speaking of things, let's just pile it all on at the same time for you of things that were rough for you in this past week in hockey. The Bruins are having a bit of drama right now. Something's going on. They're 6-6-1, so they're dead even at 500 right now.
Yeah.
And they had, in the game versus the Kraken, Pasternak was benched for the entire third period. What's going on there, dude?
I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. I think a lot of guys are just getting comfortable right now. A couple weeks ago when they were here in Utah, Marchand got laid into by Jim Montgomery on the bench because he made a stupid play. Pasta on the power play gives up a neutral zone turnover. Both of them took their punishment with grace. They said, hey, we need to have accountability around here. When you do something dumb, when you make a mistake, you deserve to hear about it. So I don't think there's any drama in that regard. But the fact that we've had to have the two leaders of the team both get chewed out and punished by the team, with the team performing as ugly as they have been, I don't know what's going on, but it's, in my mind, it's a symptom of something bigger. There's something happening there. I don't know if it's management versus the players not getting along. Is there something going on in the locker room that the guys aren't getting along? I don't know what it is, but they got to figure it out. Because this is, if you're just playing bad, you're just playing bad. But we're not hearing about this kind of drama coming out of San Jose, coming out of Chicago, coming out of the Kings locker room. There's something going on. They need to figure it out, and they need to nip it right now because this is ugly.
Yeah, well, when your best player, you're benching your best player. Well, I mean, I feel like this kind of stems back to the stuff that was going on before the start of the season with all the drama around Swayman about them not getting it signed, not getting that sweet spot with the deal figured out, and
fair point.
I feel like that kind of set the tone for issues, and so now seems like it's starting to trickle out to all the other players. Where they all have to be made to look like divas. For all we know, this is all management. We don't know. Or the players. Yeah. The players are just embracing a culture of entitlement or who knows what. I don't know, but it's a weird look for Boston.
It is. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about being a Boston fan is we've always been a very physical and hard-nosed team, but there's always been pride in putting on the spoked bee. There's always been a sense of, you're not here to be that diva player. You're here. You're going to take a team-friendly contract. We're all going to come together as a team. We're going to work together as a team. We all have each other's backs. We respect and we love this organization. So this is something that I would not expect to see out of Boston. I would expect it anywhere else before here. And that's not necessarily a knock on other teams, but it's just the amount of culture and respect that this organization has always had. This is a weird thing to be seeing right now.
Yeah, no.
I do like that we have a coach that's willing to. I don't care who you are. If you do something dumb, you deserve to get yelled at for it. You deserve to hear about it.
So you're okay with public discipline from coaches?
That's where I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it.
Because I agree, coaches need, like, the players need to be held accountable, but
yeah,
how public should it ever be made? Like this
exactly.
benching Pasta for a whole period. It's
a big deal.
What, like recently, Draisaitl got benched for a couple shifts after doing something dumb, but then that smartened him up and he ended up scoring the OT winner in that game.
Yeah.
But a whole period for a guy like him, that's wild to me.
Yeah, and that very could have cost us the game. It didn't, luckily. And that's where I'm not sure. Again, I don't think bench. I mean, that's a punishment. You take your punishment. You did something dumb. You deserve it. Getting yelled at on the bench by your coach, I don't think either of those two things in a vacuum were too much. Were above and beyond. But like you said, it's because it has become such a big deal in the media that's where the issue lies. But I don't think that necessarily means Monty did anything wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
If he's going out to the media calling his guys out, okay, now I've got an issue with the way you're handling it. But he's trying to do it in context of the team, doing what's best for the team. And if somebody overhears it or somebody sees it from the outside, there's nothing you can really do about that. So
Sure.
it's a delicate balance. I think as of now, I'm okay with it, but the bigger issue needs to be addressed if it's not, because this is going to spiral out of control very, very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I'm going to be keeping close tabs on it. I'm sure many other people are, but
yeah,
hopefully, like, that's, if Boston can't turn this around, that's going to be a big opening for a lot of other teams in the division. Because that's a tough division to make any room for. You've got Ottawa, Detroit, Buffalo, Montreal. They all want to crack into the top half of it, but it's been so dominated by Florida, Tampa, Toronto, and Boston that there's never been any room for them. They're at best hoping for that second wild card spot. But Boston falling, but Boston falling, all of a sudden. So that's a rough scenario to be in.
Yep, this 500 hockey ain't gonna cut it. So they need to figure it out quick.
No. Okay. Well, in good news of a player soon returning to play, Valeri Nichushkin of the Colorado Avalanche, who are in desperate need of anything.
They have been collapsing.
Six
it has
of
always
their top
blown
9
me away.
forwards.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it has blown me away that they have had the amount of depth that they have. Most teams, they've got 2 or 3, if they're lucky, 4, maybe 5 guys that you know who they are. They're a household name. If you're a hockey fan, you know about 6 to 8 of the guys on Colorado's staff. Like, they are just a deep, deep team, but they're all injured. So it doesn't matter how much your depth is when they're all dead.
Well, you have literally a 7th round pick, like a 6th or 7th round pick.
Yeah.
Of this last draft, getting a chance to play because like, there's no one else.
It's ridiculous.
They'll take anyone. They'll take the janitor at this point. Like, it's just, can you survive a full game without going down the tunnel?
You're not wrong. And all credit to them, though. A 5-7 record under their circumstances.
Yeah, that's
not bad. Out of it. I mean, it's still early. Nobody's out of it yet, but I would expect worse with how bad they're doing right now. Yeah, they got time.
It's this is going to make making the playoffs later on really hard. This kind of start. But if people can come back and be healthy.
Yeah.
Like when Ross Colton shows back up, because he's been having a rock star season.
Yeah, I know.
First season.
I was missing his fantasy points this week, and I ended up losing.
Yeah.
Well, I took my first loss, and it was gross.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Which is wild. But yeah, they can't catch a break. But this hopefully will be good. Nichushkin can come back on the 15th of November, because that's when his 6-month suspension ends.
Yep.
So
good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. It's a big deal. And I hope for his sake he's figured out what he needs to figure out and fought the demons. You get put into the player program once, it could have been anything. A second time but 3 times getting put in the player program in that quick of a turnaround, he's got some issues. There's something going on, and I just really hope for his sake and his family's sake that he's got it taken care of and figured out.
Well, and kudos to Colorado for not just, terminating his contract, being like, you know what, we're done. Once, twice, by the third time, you're like, hey, buddy, we're a pro hockey organization. If you can't get your stuff figured out, like, we love you, but sorry, goodbye.
Yeah.
No, they
would have been well within their right to do so. I wouldn't have blamed them.
Sure. He's costing them a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you were saying, good on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on him sticking by the guy. So that'll help them out quite a bit, but we'll just hopefully for their sake, hopefully for Avs fans, they can get some of those other guys back from injury soon, but they're another one right now. We got some good news here. This is a silver lining, but they got to turn it around here. They can't keep sliding.
Okay.
But
now, the big news from
the
this last week.
one.
Oh my goodness.
Dude is on fire.
Can you believe this, guys? Alexander Ovechkin. No. He is on fire.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Like, let's
7 goals.
Let me
let's
take a look at this here. This season, 11 games played, 7 goals, 7 assists, plus 8. He's averaging right now like 0.8 goals a game. Yeah. And look at that number, Jeff. 860. How many does Gretzky have?
894.
And
now, I was never a math guy, but pretty sure that's 34 to tie, 35 to take the lead. Now, I remember at the beginning of the year, we debated a little bit. Can it happen this year? And I said, it could, but he's getting a little old. He's slowing down. I think he's going to have to play again next year to get it. He keeps this pace up, he'll be 10 or 15 over by the end of this season.
Well, he's on pace for 52 goals this season. The man with more 50-goal seasons, I believe, than anyone else.
Yeah, let's just put that in perspective. How many people last year had 50-goal seasons?
Like 4. Like 2, 3 or 4. 2 to 4,
somewhere in there. Less than 5. Alex Ovechkin at the age of like 72 is about to have a 50-goal season. Dude can't be stopped. And I think the funniest part for me though is like the NHL will post the highlight of one of his goals or whatever, and everybody on social media, he's not that good. He has one shot from one location. That's all he can do. And I'm sitting here like, okay, let's just say he sucks at everything except for that one shot in that one location. He still has 7 goals this year, and nobody can stop him.
No.
Even if that was true that's all he could do, he's still better than anybody on your team.
Yeah, he's scored 5 goals in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
He's just tearing it up. He's shooting like a maniac, and he's getting ice time. In the game yesterday, he played 21 minutes. He had 21 minutes of ice time. I
want to point out too, if you go back down there, that's 2 goals against the Rangers. And who do you have to put 2 of them by against the Rangers?
Igor Shesterkin. Let's actually wait. We can see. We can see if Shesterkin was playing that game.
Yeah, let's double check.
Before we get too crazy.
Yeah, here, go back to the summary. I just saw it there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shesterkin still had a .911 save percentage.
Yeah.
In that game, he faced 45
Never forget.
shots. Never forget.
.911, never forget.
Never forget.
But for Ovechkin to put 2 past somebody that we were considering probably one of the finalists for the Vezina this year, I don't care about all you people talking crap. even if that's the only shot he's got, it's still better than anybody else's in the league. So find out a way to stop it.
Yeah.
Until you can stop it, he's going to keep doing it, and I don't blame him for it. So I think he's got it this year. I really do.
Unless something crazy happens, he does.
Yeah. And he could cool off. You never know.
But he's even got buffer room though. If he's on pace for 52 goals, that would put him at 905, which he'd be the first person to ever reach 900 goals in NHL history, which would be wild. So not only could he break Gretzky's record, he could break the 900 record.
Yeah.
So it's and so he's gotten based on his pace, he has an 11-goal buffer to tie, 10 to beat it.
Yep.
He can cool down. He is allowed to cool down a little bit. Obviously, he doesn't want to. Whatever he's doing, it's working. It's working.
Yeah, just keep having that same breakfast every day. Whatever he's doing here. I want to come up with some kind of cool intro stinger for that, and we're gonna keep the Ovechkin watch going every week here.
Ovie watch.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get it.
Oh yeah. Govie.
Goatvechkin. Set the record for Mother Russia.
All right. Well, that's the highlights of this week in hockey. So we can move on now to our injury report, brought to you by your mom. I don't know.
Your mom's a nurse. We'll say it was brought to you.
Yeah,
by your
yeah.
mom.
My mom is
there
a
you
nurse.
go.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
All right. Yeah, I'll run through these. I feel like that's just kind of become my thing to run through this real quick. So
sure,
let's do that, and then we can make mention of any that are interesting here. Connor McDavid is supposed to be out 2 to 3 weeks with the ankle injury. He was already skating by Thursday, and he was at practice today.
The man,
so it was
the man
supposed to be
is an inhuman healer.
It was supposed to be 2 to 3 weeks. He's trying to beat 2 weeks. He's trying to beat the low end of that. Macklin Celebrini was back on the ice this weekend. He is now scheduled to start tomorrow versus the Blue Jackets. Anthony Duclair, the Islanders, on long-term injured reserve, retroactive to October 19th. Cam York and Philly out at least 2 weeks with upper body injury. Shane Pinto, we mentioned him last week. He's considered week to week now with the injury from last week. Ty Dellandrea of the Sharks on IR Thursday with an upper body injury. Vladimir Tarasenko in Detroit missed Wednesday's game with the flu. I didn't check to see if that was a one-off or if he's still out, but that was something I put there to keep an eye on. Alec Martinez stayed home for the Blackhawks' current road trip. He's got a groin injury. Rip his kids. Mentioned it a couple minutes ago.
Just pulled.
Okay. Mentioned this one a couple weeks ago though. Ross Colton, the Colorado, foot injury. Head coach Jared Bednar says he will miss, quote, significant time. Makes me cry a little bit for my fantasy team. Alexander Romanov of the Islanders missed Wednesday's game with an upper body injury. Ryan Hartman in Minnesota was a full participant in practice on Thursday. He has been on the injury report for a little while now, just in and out. Last week he had gone home early from the road trip, so he's looking like he's coming back, and he's looking a little bit better.
Right on.
So there's some of the bigger ones.
Right on. Well, glad to see that some people are coming back. Obviously, injuries are always going to be happening, but we already have some people coming back, so that's a good sign for this season.
Hockey gets brutal, turns out.
It's a rough game. There's since here in Edmonton there was a UFC fight this weekend. I've gotten some suggested videos of UFC fighters watching hockey fights.
Okay.
And the ones that they were showing that were going to be in the fight on Saturday were like, yeah, I could never do this. I'd never want to fight in hockey, man. Like, that's wild. This is UFC fighters. Okay. And they're like, okay, I couldn't do it because they're on skates. How do you get any force in the punch? Because, they're showing them knocking out. Heck, the Oilers, Podkolzin in it was either the game, not the game against Calgary. It was the game on Thursday in Nashville. Podkolzin knocked a Nashville player out. He just... labeled him with a punch, and the dude dropped. And so they're showing stuff like that, and the UFC fighters like, holy crap, dude, what in the world? So there's Fighting's no joke in hockey. It's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not soft.
No. And I mean, even forget the fighting. Just we're gonna hit this hard rubber puck at you at almost 100 miles an hour, and you're just gonna stand there and take it, and it's gonna bounce off of you back to me, and I'm gonna hit it at you again. And I mean, some of these guys are taking 2, 3, 4 blocks on one series on one shift before they go sit down, just to come back and do it again 5 minutes later. Like it's brutal. It's brutal stuff.
Oh yeah, your teammates will celebrate you as much, if not a little bit more, for blocking a big shot than for scoring a goal. Because
True.
that shot you blocked that was 95 miles an hour could have been a goal. And so that's, that's like, hey, you put your body on the line, you put yourself on the line, and those stink. Doesn't matter what equipment it is.
No.
That stings.
No. That ain't going to feel good at all.
No.
So they're all tough, but yeah, no, it's a good thing. A lot of these guys are starting to come back. And I think most of the significant injuries this week, they all seem like they're going to be relatively minor. I mean, McDavid's being kind of one of... Yeah, Ross Colton and McDavid are kind of the big two, but even McDavid, again, he's trying to come back early. So it looks like Ross Colton's going to be the only long-term here.
Yeah. That's just McDavid, though. That's what he does. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He's the most advanced player to ever play the game, as they say.
Tell me more.
It's, as they say. Well, I don't. He's just advanced. I am but basic. He is advanced. I just understand.
He's just built different.
He's just built. He's built to an elite level previously unconceived or comprehended.
There you go.
He just appeared from the dust, and all of a sudden, behold, McDavo.
Oh boy.
Right.
On that note, give us some contract news here.
All right, so we got some transactions, some trades, some signings. We got Timothy Lindgren has been traded from Toronto to San Jose. Rest in peace, Timothy Lindgren.
Poor guy.
Lilgren. And in exchange for Matt Benning, a 3rd-round draft pick and a 6th-round draft pick. So, for some reason, San Jose is like, hey, we have too many draft picks from all the trades we had on the offseason. We can't have all of these draft picks, so we'll try and go and get a better player.
Yeah,
for whatever reason. I mean,
there
is a maximum amount of potential and rookies that you can have. Like, there comes a point where you have the volume just is too much, and so you got to try and stay competitive.
Yeah.
Toronto.
I don't know all the ins and outs of both of these players super to the fine points. This trade just didn't make a whole ton of sense to me for either side, though. It's kind of weird. It just seemed like we just want to do something, so let's do something.
Well, it's, Matt Benning, it's that depth player. And then Toronto's a team that with the trades they've made in the past to get better players, they've given up more draft picks. So they do need draft picks.
Sure.
They need to, you got to do something to have something, because you need to have a system. You got to have people coming up in the system, because you can't rely on just signings and trades to get it done. The most likely way to get good people, especially at team-friendly discounts, is to have built them up from the ground up.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way, because there's the most security in the way contracts work, and you're not having to worry about so much, am I overpaying for someone? Who can we find that's underpaying? What kind of risk is that? And all the extra things. It's just easier if you can do it internally, and then that gives you a lot of flexibility and freedom for the external trades and signings, where it can be like, we can be picky. We can negotiate more.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense. I just, like I said, I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I don't know how low on draft picks Toronto is. If anything, it just seems like, hey, we just need some draft picks. So if this is what it's going to take to get them, let's just do it.
Well, and you can trade them later. That's the thing. It also gives you options for later at the trade deadline. So there's always draft picks are never a bad thing until you have too many of them, which Utah's another team that has a bit too many draft picks, so that's something that they'll be likely looking to get rid of a bit at the trade
yes.
deadline.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of which, they just got rid of one with getting Ollie Mata from Detroit for a 3rd-round pick.
Yep. I was up in the air about it. Didn't know how I felt about it. He's now played 3 games, maybe 2 or 3. He has been in the league 12 years and scored 14 total goals. Everybody's panicking.
I mean, is he a forward or a defenseman?
He's a defenseman, and that's why everybody exactly.
But he's a defensive defenseman.
Here's the thing, though. You understand that, but we have to remember a lot of the people here in Utah. I mean, a lot of people have watched hockey. A lot of people haven't. A lot of people are very, very new to this. And so everybody, why are we trading for this guy? This guy sucks. He's only got 14 career goals. He's played more years than goal. He's a defender, guys.
Well, he's not
out there to score.
He's a 3rd pairing defenseman, so he has got the least amount of ice time usually of all the defensemen, and he's not playing with he's not getting power play time. He's not getting a lot of opportunities to take a shot. He's that just one-off, 1 to 2 goals a season. Every team's got a few they're not trying to score. They're trying to keep you from scoring and get the puck to the forwards for them to score.
Exactly right. In what I've seen in the games that he's played, he's done that, and he's done that very, very well. I might even go as far just from doing the fundamentals. I'm not talking about statistics. I'm not talking about anything, but just the fundamentals of get back, clog the lanes, play defense, get the puck out. What I have seen the last couple of games, he might be our best defender right now.
Nice. Okay.
We have been just bleeding on the defensive end. We are not perfect. We still need help defensively, but he has been a huge stopgap, taking up some of that space that we lost John Marino and Sean Dursey to injury. Mm-hmm. He's been huge. And I have a feeling that he was underutilized in Detroit.
Yeah.
And he's going to be here a while, I hope, because he's killing it right now. I'm happy with it.
I'm glad he's finding a home. That's always good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Defenseman, it's hard because there's not – when you see trades like that, you see signings like that, sometimes you're like, okay, how good is this guy? There's not a lot of – most of the stats that everyone knows that are just the easiest to cite and see are for offense. And so it's hard to know a defensive impact. Now, there's been a big expansion into advanced analytics and all kinds of things that you can do that, but those aren't intuitive to understand, and no one's looking, your average Joe isn't looking up advanced analytics.
Correct.
Right? So the fans might be confused, but rest assured, 1, you guys need a bit more defensive help, as you were saying. 2, if he's available, the price is right, and his analytics and what they've seen are good, you're going to get him.
If all we had to give up was a 3rd-round pick for next year's draft, not only do we have an abundance of picks, but it's 1 pick for this guy, and he's that big of a help on defense already.
Yeah.
I'll take that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's
Great
fantastic.
Trade.
That's fantastic.
Great trade.
Yeah. Okay. 3 more quick ones to go through here. We got Alexei Toropchenko, because St. Louis loves to sign those people with the large, crazy European names. 1-year extension. And Jake McCabe's re-signed a 5-year deal with Toronto. And our last transaction.
Uh-oh. What is this? Oh, jeez.
It's the Tim Hortons hockey cards you asked me to go
got
and
them
get.
for me.
I did, yes. Jeff,
how much were they?
$2 a pop. So it's
okay.
I did exactly what you told me to and got 50 of them. So we now have, for when you come up here, hopefully around Christmas time, we have 50 packs of Tim Hortons hockey cards. Why you want them, I don't know, but it'll be fun either way. So yeah, that's our final transaction of the day.
That's our final. I was wondering why there was 2 on the list and you said 3. Look at you go.
I wanted to find the right way to sneak that in there, because I didn't tell you before the stream that I'd actually gotten them.
You did not.
Like this massively long receipt, because each pack was an
They had to
individual
ring up
item.
each one.
You couldn't do because it's like it says 1 hockey cards. Why couldn't you just put 50? No.
That poor Tim Hortons worker.
She was very nice and very helpful. She was very patient.
Oh, good.
She was very chill and cool about the whole scenario. I was like,
oh,
yeah,
good.
My buddy in the States wants them. Because I'm just some random dude. I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy hot chocolate. I didn't buy any donuts. Like, didn't buy any food or anything. I'm just like, can I get 50 packs of hockey cards?
I love it. I love it. So yes, be on the lookout when I go. I'm gonna be visiting Kynan for the holidays. We'll have to record the podcast together in the same room. That'll be an interesting week or two. Depending on how it lines up, I might be there 2 Saturdays. But we're gonna do a video as well where we're gonna open all those up. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
What day? Well, wait. Saturdays are the 21st and the 28th. Okay, that's cool. So I was like, well, if it's Saturdays of Christmas, we're not streaming on Christmas. But
no,
that's all good. That's all chill. Gucci. Okay. Well, now let's jump into kind of the next thing I had an idea for. Yeah. And kind of our last little bit here, since it's a Monday, we don't have any kind of predictions, and I was completely out of it, not following a bunch of things last week. So a little bit of a shorter podcast today, but let's kind of go. We've played a month of hockey. We're about 10% of the way through the games of the season, so we can kind of look at the progress report of all the teams and the players and see how things are doing, who's hot, who's not, because we've reached the point where, those first 5 games are always like, oh, look, McDavid and Matthews combined have no goals, and that Gustavsson, the goalie, has more goals than McDavid and Matthews combined. Oh, and you're like,
oh yes,
whoa, what's happening? And now it's like, okay, no, obviously, a goalie isn't one of the league leaders in goals anymore.
Things are starting to settle down a little bit here.
Yeah, we can kind of see, what's likely to be the trends and the way teams are going to play for the next few months as we approach the midpoint and kind of have things solidify. So obviously we talked about Colorado and their injury problems that they're having. Their records looking good, all things considered, but this
relative, yeah.
But this could be a real struggle to even make the playoffs. If
at this rate, yeah.
Like, because what do you do? Because you can't trade. People won't trade for injured players. So it's not like you can trade away your problems. No.
Honestly, at this point, you sit there and you wait. I mean, that's literally all they can do. They can wait for guys to get off IR. Anybody who's out for like a couple days or a week, you could trade them, but they're only out for a couple days or a week. You don't want to be getting rid of your stars. At this point, the only options they would have would be to dump somebody like a Makar or a McKinnon who's still playing, who's healthy. I would cut off my left foot before I expected either of those two to get moved on purpose. Yeah. I shouldn't say things like that. Case in point right here. But I don't see that happening. So honestly, I mean, Colorado's just going to have to sit and wait and be patient. Use this as on-the-job training for some of the young guys, and we'll look at the end of December, and if they're still in the hunt, great. If not, well, what needs to happen.
Yeah. Well, and on the flip side of a team doing bad, Washington, I feel, is over. We talked about Ovie and how well he's doing, but Washington as a whole, they're doing fantastic.
Yeah.
If
specific.
We take a look at the standings here. They are tied for second and a point behind first in their division. There's a 3-way tie for second, but New Jersey's also played 3 more games than Washington. Carolina's played 1 less, but literally New York and Washington, same amount of games, a point difference. They're doing so well.
They're right there in the hunt, and I haven't heard any complaints from PLD yet.
No.
Granted, it's still early. 1 goal, 5 assists on the year in 11 games. So the production's not super high, but he's not doing terrible, and there hasn't been any complaints. I just overall as a team, yeah, they're kind of killing it right now.
Yeah, it's honestly wild to me how they're doing. And I'm curious if they can keep it up, because this is 11 games. It's not the longest stint of time, but
yeah,
they're showing quality. They lost their last game, but they're 8-2 in their last 10. So
in a plus 13 goal differential in having only played 11 games, that's not nothing either.
No, that's
in a league where you're going to have a lot of 1-0, 2-1 games. Plus 13 is not nothing.
I mean, well, this ain't soccer. You're never going to see 1-0 games. It's like we're talking 3-2, 4-3s here. Okay.
I bet you there's been at least 2 this year.
1-0s? Okay.
I bet.
I'd take that bet. I'd take that bet.
We'll look. We'll look.
Yeah, we'll have to look. But okay. But then back to the flip side on that, the Philadelphia Flyers. Oh boy, oh my goodness. I'd hate to be in that locker room. I'd hate to be John Tortorella is just going to be ripping them a new one nightly. This is just they're oh wait, no, sorry. No, I didn't mean Philly. I meant the Islanders. Sorry. I just looked at the bottom.
Well,
I meant to look at Islanders, but then I saw Philly. I mean Philly's also really bad.
Yeah.
But
we expected them to be bad, but just to put that in perspective, how many points do they have?
9.
And how many does San Jose have?
8.
That's how bad Philly is.
Now,
and if San Jose has 10,
to be fair,
sure. But if San Jose's got 8, and the Islanders have 10, that's how bad the Islanders are. That's who you meant to make fun of here.
Yeah. But also, the Islanders, such a bad start, and they've just lost 2 of their big guns. They got Barzal is out and Pelech is out.
Yeah.
So that's not looking good for them.
No, I didn't expect that they were going to be a contender, but this is a different level of bad that I didn't expect.
I thought they could at least be, play, and it's still early, but I thought they could at least be, a little closer to the playoff cutoff, but they're tied with the Blue Jackets. They have the Blue Jackets, are doing better than them. The Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
I saw Pittsburgh. I'm speaking things. Now
you're having a day.
I'm having a day. Now, a team that surprised me how well they've started out is Tampa. Like, obviously, we knew Tampa was going to. You don't have Kucherov, Hedman, and Vasilevsky and be bad. That's just not the way it works. Yeah. But they're doing better than I expected with the losses of people like Stamkos and Gunsel. Hedman's getting older. They don't seem to have the same depth to me as they once did.
Yeah.
But they're not slowing down. They're still being solid, and Florida is dominating that division still. So I'm really impressed with that.
Yeah, I know Hagel has quietly been picking up a lot of that slack. He's been a very, very big player for them this year.
My fantasy's very much benefited from Hagel.
Yeah, I've got him in one of my leagues as well. But you got him, like you said, Kucherov, Braden Point, Victor Hedman. I mean, that's about it. Anything beyond that, it's just like maybe you've heard of a couple of these guys.
Beyond those players, who's on Tampa? Right? There's no one that you're like
Mitchell Chaffee. You don't know Mitchell Chaffee? Come on, now.
It's Caffey.
Is it?
No, I don't know.
Exactly. Zemgus Girgensons. He's younger than I am.
I don't. No, we're not talking college football. There's not.
Oh, okay. That does sound like a college football name, doesn't it?
What was the name
again? McCrinkleberry.
Hingle McCrinkleberry. Yeah.
Where to go? Zemgus Girgensons.
I'm gonna see if I can find the team. I'm gonna see if I can find it for the people to see.
Team roster. There you go.
Team roster.
Right underneath Connor Geeky.
Oh yes. Okay. Zemgus
Girgensons.
Girgensons. University of Colorado.
That's pretty good.
It's from Latvia or something. That's okay. Wow. Okay. Well, where's the standing? There it is. Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Thoughts on Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we mentioned Pittsburgh briefly, but they're about where I figured they were. They're not going to be a dominant team. They haven't been in a while. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, but they're not going to be basement dwellers. I think they're too good for that. I expect them throughout the year. They're going to be hovering between that 6 and 4 spot. They'll be up and down in those spots there. They're a little bit worse than I thought. Yeah, they're a little bit worse than I thought they would be, but not too terribly where I'd be panicking if I'm a Pittsburgh fan.
Kyle Dubas is such a joke of a general manager to me. Like, what?
You're not wrong. Yes.
I don't understand the things
Let it out, son. Let it out.
Are they wasting? Is Crosby wasting his final years in Pittsburgh? Is Pittsburgh wasting the final years of Crosby? I don't know. I feel like you could argue either way. But this thing with Pittsburgh, you do things like sign Erik Karlsson. Why? You didn't need to defend. You already had Chris Letang. You didn't need to drain up so much money in there. You traded away Guentzel.
Yep.
But then why?
For what?
For what? And what are you trying to accomplish? It's not clear. They don't make sense. Kyle Dubas has never made sense in the way he does things to me. It's why he got fired from Toronto. I don't get it. I don't get what they're trying to do in Pittsburgh. I don't think they know
what they're trying to do.
I don't think so either. Crosby's just gonna, I guess, have fun. Because he can't leave. He's so loyal to them. He is a Penguin.
Yeah.
He's never gonna. That's not a thing. He's never gonna leave. And so it's kind of. I don't know.
I don't blame him, but at the same time, we have to lay the blame where it's due, and that's at his feet squarely. He could have any contract from any team, and anybody would be happy to sign him.
Oh yeah,
he continually keeps going back.
$8.7 million.
Exactly. Yeah. He keeps going back for team-friendly deals for $8.7 million, and he's going to stay with Pittsburgh. Good on him. I don't think it's a bad thing, but all I'm saying is I never want to hear a complaint out of him.
When he's on the cover of these, like, you're just
you're
making money. You don't need the big contract.
Exactly. What if I end up pulling a Sid autograph out of one of those packs there?
Is that even an option?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I've never understood hockey cards. As a kid, for some reason, I don't know why I did. I collected the hockey cards for a bit. I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought they were cool. Because you can't. What do you do with them? What do you do with the cards?
It's not what you do with them after. It's fun to have the anticipation and excitement of ripping. Ripping is addictive, man. It's so much fun.
I just don't get why people put so much value in these things. Like it's shiny cardboard, and you can't even play a game. It's not like the ones where you can at least play a game with it. Like that at least I get a bit more, because then you're playing the game, but then there's also the collector's aspect to it. But with this, there are other things in sports you can collect.
Sure.
I don't know.
There is. Oh wow. There is a Sidney Crosby Superstar Signatures card.
Oh, okay.
The odds are 1 out of every 149,306 packs. So that is the rarest card in the set.
Okay. Wonderful.
There's a good amount of autographs in here that we might pull. I've never, in all of my years of card collecting, I've never pulled an autograph card. And in this set, there are no Bruins. There are no Utah.
Fair enough.
For the autographs. So, sure. But I could pull a McDavid. We'll see.
You never know. Okay.
But the Penguins, yes.
Yeah. Penguins. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on them, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Even worse than that, though, the last one that you have on this list here, Nashville. I feel like they're pulling the nose up a little bit here.
Oh yeah, they're 4-1-1 in their last 6 games after going 0-5.
Exactly. I wouldn't worry about them too much yet, especially since the one loss was against an Edmonton team who really wanted to come out and play.
Well, Edmonton, especially Draisaitl, has always feasted on Nashville, especially in Nashville. And that was game 1 without McDavid, and so Draisaitl was like, "I'm going to step up," and he is literally the mayor of Smashville. Draisaitl is mayor there because he just has so many points in games against Nashville. It's wild. I don't get it.
Yeah, he loves it there. So I'm not concerned with Nashville.
Yeah,
I mean they started ugly, but they're pulling the nose up. They're doing well. I think they'll get it together here.
If Draisaitl was, heaven forbid, to ever leave Edmonton, he wouldn't go to Boston. He'd go to Nashville.
I can see it.
I already score so much when I'm playing against this team. Who's to say it won't be the same with them?
Why not? Why not?
Okay, and last team before we get into individual players, LA. They make no sense. Like as we see them here, they're second in the division. Okay? But, the Oilers, Flames, and Canucks, all 2 points behind them. They're super mid in their last 10 games. And, their last 3 games is a loss to Chicago, a win against Vegas, and a loss to San Jose. You see where those teams are in the standings?
Yeah, I don't
get it.
The Kings don't make sense to me right now because I feel like every night all I'm hearing about is how much they're underperforming, how bad they lost, and then you look here, their total record is 6-3-3. That's not terrible when they're second in their division, above Vancouver, above Edmonton, Calgary that started 5-0, 6-0, whatever the heck it was. They just, I don't know how they're doing it. I don't expect them to keep it. I really don't. I mean, any moment now the collapse is going to come, and I think losing to Chicago and San Jose, that might be the start of that. I expect them 6th or 7th place, to be honest with you. But who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They're someone that it's going to take a little bit longer to really tell how they're doing. Edmonton, I mean, they're on the uptick, so that's always nice.
It's nice to see. Yeah.
Let's get into the specific leaders in the league right now, and we can start with points. There's a 3-way tie for first place in points right now, Jeff.
Kirill the Thrill.
The Thrill. I love that.
And somebody's been trying to get him off of my fantasy team.
Well, okay, to be fair, a week ago when I suggested that, he was not in first for points. Okay?
Nope.
If we want to take a look at this here quick, let's take a look at his last few games. So he got blanked against
5 goals.
Yeah, but in the last week, he literally has 3 goals and 5 assists. That's 8 points in 3 games. Okay? Okay, let's take away 8 points here. That's 13. A week ago, he was only at 13 points. Okay?
Which is good, but not.
Yeah. Now my trade offer is kind of weak. Though to be fair, Zach Hyman has started scoring again.
Just saying.
Just fair.
Here's the thing though, and you didn't give me too much, but you gave me a little bit of crap early season. I know a lot of people just don't believe in Minnesota as a team. I think they've got too many good players, and Kirill is just too good of a player.
No, I didn't crap on.
Be down.
No, don't make claims. Don't say things.
I said a little bit. You gave me a little bit of crap.
No, I said they're forgettable, and I don't know why. I said
fair enough.
Because that's not me crapping on them. That's a fact. Whoever, when someone says name 5 hockey teams, who says the Minnesota Wild? It's
no Minnesotans.
Yeah, but no one's interviewing them. Because
it's too cold up there.
What Minnesota? Because let's be fair, hockey is not the biggest sport, major sport in Minnesota. Football would trump that. in terms of what people
probably.
follow.
Probably.
Isn't it the Vikings who are the cheeseheads? Like, come on.
No. Oh, my poor child.
I don't remember. I don't
Oh.
know.
No, that's the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay,
Oh, is it?
Wisconsin are the cheeseheads.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah, the
anywho.
Vikings are their bitter rivals.
Yeah.
Second only to their rivalship with the Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Yeah. But see, those teams, or at least some of them, have done things. The Wild have never won anything.
It's true.
So
it's true.
They're getting a team that can start to win things. You know, they got Kaprizov, they got Faber, they got Gustafsson. You know, they've got these good players. But yeah.
And that's one of the things that surprises me too, that they're not attracting tons and tons of high-level talent. And that's weird to me. I don't know. Is Minnesota undesirable? Is there bad management? I don't know what it is. Are they just not trying to go out and get more players? I have no idea, but it's weird to me with as much talent as they've got, young and upcoming talent, that people don't want to play there. It's weird to me.
I don't know. Maybe it's just cold. I don't know.
Yeah. Could be.
But it's hockey. Yeah. But yeah, he's tied with Makar and Reinhart. Which, man,
not super surprised.
Which would be really funny is if you'd actually done the deal, you'd been willing to entertain the deal and not be like, oh, I'm busy, I have to think about it. I would have all three of these players.
Yep.
Which is what I mean. We can still find a way to get him to me. We can find a way. Yeah, we can.
No thanks.
Yeah. Do you want Tahoe or not? Anywho, yeah, but it's
not that bad.
Quit trading with your emotions and you start using numbers here, pal.
Exactly.
I've actually in the past offered you statistically favorable trades. Anywho,
you have.
McKinnon, Kucherov, and Stone are all very close behind, so that's a very tight race.
Still a toss-up, yeah.
Yeah. Goals, we got a 4-way tie for first right now with 4 other players literally 1 goal behind, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, and I just want to point out there, because we were just talking about, oh, geez, I never realized how long of a neck that dude's got. What in the actual? That poor guy. We were just talking about Tampa Bay there a minute ago. Mm-hmm. And you've got Cooch tied for first, and then Braden Point down there in ninth.
Can you say
the large part of why they're doing well?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you've got then, like, Winnipeg, who's got Ehlers and Connor here,
yeah.
Which I'd like, actually, quickly, I want to point out, Ehlers and Makar are defensemen. Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Ehlers, no, wait. What? Why is it saying Ehlers is left wing? Oh, no, I'm thinking of Pionk. No, Ehlers is a forward. Never mind. I'm thinking of Pionk. Pionk's a defenseman. I think he might. Did I see him in here? No. But you do have Josh Morrissey high in assists here. So it's they've got some people. I love that Goal Caulfield's up here. Such a good nickname. Goal
Caulfield. I do like that. I do like that.
Yeah. This
Panera Bread, Draisaitl. I mean, none of these guys are super big surprises to me.
Caulfield's a bit of a surprise. He's sure doing this well, and Caulfield, those two are surprises to me.
The reason I'm saying they're not.
Sorry, go.
No, I was gonna say the reason I don't think they're huge surprises because it is still early enough in the season. They're 2 talented players. They're on a hot streak. Come back 2 months from now, I don't think either of those 2 are gonna be tied for first. Then I'll be big surprised. At this point, it would be if I saw a Liam O'Brien up there leading the league in points. I'd be like, something's going on here.
Well, that was after
Dude
2
played
games.
3 games.
Yeah. Now, I mean, this is what we knew Caulfield could do. It'll be interesting to see how much he can keep it up. He's hot right now, but for how long? I don't know.
Yeah.
And assists. No real surprises here.
Nothing huge there, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
If we look at
Can I just say though, Makar is gross. Like that dude is he's not even human. As a defenseman, doing as well as he does, and this isn't just a one-off. This is every year he's up there in leading.
He's so
It
good.
honestly makes me feel like there's some kind of conspiracy where he plays forward, he practices forward. They just slide an extra forward into a defensive slot and pretend he's a defenseman.
He's our generation's Bobby Orr. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He is the Bobby Orr of our time.
It's true. It's true.
Like it's
and
like,
as
oh
a
no,
Boston
he's
fan,
young. But
no, as a Boston fan, I have to come clean. I think we'll be comparing the two. I think Makar might have him by career end. I think we might be looking back and saying Orr was great. Kale had him.
I think it's hard to compare when it's that big a difference in time. I think you just can only compare the impact they had on the game at their time respectively. And I don't think anyone can have the impact that Bobby Orr did.
Sure.
But in terms of the comparatively elite performance, it's going to be neck and neck. Definitely. You could give it to either one on any given night, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Okay, goalies. There's this funny thing. The top three names in the two general categories, it's kind of the same three names, and it's a weird three names. I have to say.
I mean, yeah, Gustafsson, Shesterkin don't surprise me as much as Lucas Dostal. What?
Well, Igor Shesterkin, no, that's no surprise that he's up there. Gustafsson, it's like, whoa, okay, he's actually showing up. That's fantastic. But yeah. Lucas Dostal.
Yeah,
he's played 9 games and has the best save percentage in the league, but only 4 wins. He has a sub 500 winning percentage. But what is going on?
Imagine being good and playing for Anaheim. You won't be playing there very long.
Nah, someone's gonna be like, there's no way this guy stays.
No, there are multiple teams that need goalie help. He'll be gone by the trade deadline if he continues this.
Yeah, it's just wild to me how well he's doing. Cam Talbot is also doing pretty good.
He did this last year, though. Don't get your hopes up, Detroit fans. He did this last year and then collapsed like we all knew he would.
Oh, he's just because he's old. Like let's
yeah.
Because how old is he?
82.
37? Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. He's played half the team's games at a .923 percentage, so not bad. I'm pretty sure they're splitting them. Yeah, Cam Talbot, Alex Lyon.
Yeah, so both their goalies are doing good, but yet they're still. Let's see here. They're still only at 500, so it doesn't seem like the goaltending's been the issue.
Yeah,
it's more the offense. So we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on how Detroit handles that.
You are dying over there.
It's just because I'm talking so much. Okay, quickly. And our last thing. Rookies. Logan Stankoven. Holy crap, does Dallas know how to draft?
Oh, yeah.
They've been a good team for how long?
I had him winning the Rookie of the Year, being over Michkov and
Celebrini.
And Celebrini, yeah. Why could I not think of his name? Holy
crap, he's short. He's shorter than me.
He's that's
5'8", 165.
How tall are you? Like 5'9", 5'10"?
I'm 5'9".
5'9". Yeah. I knew you were short, but
okay. When you're 6'13", whatever you are.
Pretty close.
When 6'10". You're taller than Zdeno Chara, everyone's short compared to you. Okay.
It's true.
True.
Put me on skates and get me out there and see how big I am.
Yeah. Look, I exceeded my genetics. I'm taller than both my parents, so I'm happy.
It's true. They are short too.
Yeah, much shorter. So I'll take it. But yeah, holy crap. But Yeah, Michkov also doing well. And obviously, Celebrini's not on here, but that's because he's played like 2 games.
Yeah. He'll be climbing his way up that. But Michkov has been very impressive this year as well. He's had some really good games out there, and the team's not doing well at all, but he's making a name for himself. So good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Also a shorter player, 5'10".
Yep.
Yeah. 7th overall, so it makes sense that he should be doing well for how high of a pick he was. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, a lot of people were high on him coming into the season, and rightfully so. He's definitely earning that attention right now. So good on him.
Right on. Well, cool. That's all I have for this week. Jeff, do you have anything else you want to
add? No. Just we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming on Saturday, unless one of us dies again. Otherwise, get out and watch some hockey, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch the Oilers game here in 24 minutes.
Who are they playing tonight?
New Jersey.
Jersey, okay.
Jersey.
Okay.
We'll play Jersey.
Yeah, the Utah's got the night off tonight. And then they play tomorrow. But I'll have to be watching highlights tomorrow, as it's kind of a big day here.
Yeah. So it's unless one of us dies, figuratively or literally. Yeah, go out and vote, everybody, and stay safe.
Yes.
No matter what happens.
Yes, election day. So celebrate, I guess. Maybe. Don't cry.
We hope that you get to celebrate.
Yeah. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow. Let me tell you, I'm nervous. So
hey,
we'll see. But
fortunately, we're not a political stream. We're a hockey stream.
Yes.
So
watch hockey.
Watch hockey.
Come report to us next week on who you watch and how they do.
Yeah. Comment below,
please,
or above.
Yes. Yeah. Saturday we will be back. I will be streaming a Utah game this week. Haven't decided which one yet. But it won't be tomorrow nights.
Nope. Okay.
So we'll see.
Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you again on Saturday. Bye-bye.